Hey everyone, welcome to the Path Bike Shop YouTube channel. Today, we're gonna be starting a new series here called Bike of the Week. Pretty self-explanatory. Once a week, we're gonna walk you through a bike and give you all the details that you need to make a more educated decision when it comes time to buy a new bike. I'm your host, Sean, and today we're looking at one of the nicest e-bikes that money can buy, the Santa Cruz Heckler. So this is the third and latest edition of Santa Cruz's Heckler e-bike. And for this version, we see quite a few improvements over the previous iteration, which was already an awesome bike. For 2022, we see a larger battery for more range, more wheel size options, including mullet, and a few tweaks to the geometry to make handling a little bit better. I would consider the Heckler to be a really well-rounded, do-anything type of e-bike. We're looking at 150 millimeters of travel in the rear and 160 up front. The geometry for the Heckler is based off of the Bronson and Hightower models, so it's designed to handle a wide variety of trails and terrain. For the electronics, we have a Shimano EP8 motor paired with a 720 watt-hour battery across all the build kits. Now, 720 watt-hours is not the biggest battery out there right now. However, it's still a ton of range. Shimano includes a range indicator on their display, which is showing a potential of about 45 miles in full boost mode. Pretty good if you ask me. The other great thing about the Santa Cruz Heckler is going to be the different wheel size options. For sizes medium through double XL, you get to choose between 29 front and rear or 29 front, 27.5 rear. And for size small, you go 27.5 front and rear. And finally, our large CC X01 Axis Reserve build is weighing in a hair over 49 pounds. Okay, so the Heckler currently comes in 5 different build kit options, starting with the CR kit coming in at $87.49, going all the way up to the CC X01 Axis Reserve. I know it's a mouthful. That one's priced at $14,249. Now I know what you're thinking, that's a ton of money to spend on a bike. However, you absolutely get what you pay for. These are some of the nicest, most well-built e-bikes on the market today, and you can really tell that Santa Cruz put a lot of thought and detail into these build kits. All right, so starting with the CR kit, unfortunately, we don't have one in stock right now to show you guys. However, I'll walk you through the build kit real quick. This is gonna be based off of Santa Cruz's slightly heavier C model carbon frame. You're gonna get a RockShox Lyric up front, a Super Deluxe rear shock, NX Eagle drivetrain, SRAM G2 RE brakes, E13 for the cockpit, and an SDG Tellus dropper post. Pretty well-rounded build for the price, like I said, coming in at $87.49. Up next here, we have the CS kit. It's gonna be running the same frame as the R build, however, you're gonna get quite an upgrade with the fork running the Fox Performance Series, a SRAM GX drivetrain and code brakes, carbon bars, a better wheel set, and this build is coming in at $10,399. If Shimano is more your thing, Santa Cruz offers the CXT build. It's gonna run the same C model frame as the previous 2 models. However, you're gonna see Shimano XT 8100 drivetrain and 8120 brakes. In addition to that, you're gonna see some other upgrades, including a Fox 36 Performance Elite fork, a Fox transfer post, as well as DT Swiss 350 hubs. This build is coming in at $11,149. Moving on to the CC models, we get Santa Cruz's lighter weight but slightly more expensive CC carbon layup on their frames. And to start off those models, we are looking at the GX Axis build. That's right, we're gonna dive right off the deep end into wireless electronic shifting with SRAM's GX Axis drivetrain on this one. It has a very similar build kit to the CXT build kit that we just looked at. However, you're gonna see obviously a SRAM drivetrain, SRAM brakes, and you're gonna upgrade to Industry 9 hubs for faster engagement. The final and fanciest model in the Heckler lineup is gonna be the CC X01 Axis Reserve. With this build, you get a Fox factory fork and dropper post, X01 Axis drivetrain, and Code RSC brakes, as well as a set of Santa Cruz carbon reserve rims laced to Industry 9 hubs. All this for $14,249. Now I would just give you guys a rundown on all the geo numbers for this bike. However, there's just too many variables. This is because not only does this bike come in 3 different wheel size options, but it also has a flip chip for the rear suspension, which puts the bottom bracket in either a low or a high position. So suffice to say, there are a ton of different options with this bike depending on how you want it to perform. In general, we see a 64.5 degree head tube angle. The reach on a large is 472 millimeters. The chainstay length is going to be 446 millimeters for the 27.5 rear wheel and 460 millimeters for the 29-inch wheel. I'll include a link below down in the description for Santa Cruz's full Geo Chart if you want to check that out. So now that we have the specs out of the way, let's talk about what type of rider this bike is for. Like I said earlier, the Santa Cruz Heckler is a super versatile e-bike, meaning that it can handle a really wide range of trails and terrain. If you're the type of rider that wants one bike to do absolutely everything, this is probably the bike for you. It's light enough to not be an absolute tank on the climbs, but also stable enough to hold its own through chunky descents. Also, if you're the type of rider that wants a top quality machine right out of the box, Santa Cruz is going to be the brand to go with. They pay a ton of attention to the little details, which all add up to just a high quality product. Now, if you're looking for something similar, but you want more travel, they also make the Bullet, and we'll be doing a video on that in the future, so make sure to stay tuned for that. That's about it for this edition of Bike of the Week with the Santa Cruz Heckler. I've been your host, Sean. If you need any more information on this bike, or if you're curious what models we might have in stock, feel free to head over to thepathbikeshop.com. You can stop on by or give us a call. We're more than happy to help you out. If there's any other bikes that you'd like to see us review in the future, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next week.